Sakamoto Desu is a comedy which just gets it right. It does an outstanding job of conveying this humor across cultural barriers, and this is something which is a huge hurdle for any type of comedy, and not just anime, because whenever you make a comedy and it's targeted at the people specifically within your culture, and then it's translated and other people on the other side of the world watch it, then if they can still laugh at it, then you've done something right, and you've created some sort of universal humor here, which I think Sakamoto Desu has done, and it's one of the rare anime that I think you could probably show to anybody, even if they're unfamiliar with anime or really any of the things that happen in Japan, and they would still laugh at it because it's just that funny. And I honestly found myself laughing so hard at this so many times. I remember I was just watching this at like 2 o'clock in the morning. I would have to pause it just to catch my breath because I didn't want to laugh and miss another joke. And that's basically how it was. I would laugh so many times during each and every episode. I think out of the 12 episodes, there was only one that I didn't really care for so much, but other than that, this was just pure comedic gold.
マジかよ。あの蜂と互角に針を交わしてやがる。
So Sakamoto is a character that you could describe in one word as being perfect, or you could just describe him in 3. Cool, cooler, and coolest, because he is the guy who does everything perfectly, and he is so intelligent that he's got a tight grasp of every single situation. So it's really enjoyable to watch him get put in all of these different situations and just see how he reacts to them. Like, say for example, there's one thing that happens throughout the entire series is that, considering that he is such an extremely brilliant character, there's always these bully type characters that are coming after him in school. They're picking on him, like say for example in the first episode they pulled a chair out from under him and he just sits down as if it was still there and he's just sitting on top of thin air. And there are a few different ways that he handles each and every situation, such as he will either use his wit to overcome everything, and he doesn't really inform the audience or anybody else in the series what he's actually doing, and people will always wonder, what's going on here? What is he doing? He's doing something very strange. What's going on? And you're going to have to watch and see what happens, but it always comes out in the end to be something that makes the absolute best out of any situation, and it's just funny to watch the guy.
そうこうしているうちに全クラス3のもとに似ている先生似ているんじゃあの時の光景と獲物を捕らえたワニが引きちぎる際に見せた荒技デスローラギ
And what gives the show a bit of its own flavor and really adds a bit of a kick to it is the level of weirdness that we get out of him, because if he's not using his wits to overcome a situation, then he's kind of using magic, because we see times that he'll like snap his fingers and the room will reset. He'll like move furniture with his mind basically, or he'll just float around in the air, and he just does so many strange things that many people wonder if he's an alien. So because Sakamoto does everything flawlessly, he has this magnetic personality. He is an extremely charismatic character, and because of this, everyone is drawn to him and people just cannot get him off of their brain, including their classmates, the teachers, everyone, including his female classmates, who all fall in love with him and become infatuated with him, and it's hilarious watching them just fall head over heels for him, but he just isn't interested in them, and their reactions are priceless.
アイナのこと見てたんじゃなくて、このアイナを透かして黒板を写そうってわけ?
So this is an anime which introduces many characters, and they all have this one type of joke that they do, which normally you might think is a bad thing, but it actually works in Sakamoto, and I'm going to explain why. But just as an example of this, we have like one guy, for example, in Sakamoto's class who always lets his gut hang out over top of his pants, and it's just hanging out there. This thing has like dead or alive boob physics to it, where it's just flopping all around and shooting all over the place and jiggling, and he's just standing still, and his belly's just bopping jumping and flopping all over the place, and everybody in class is just repulsed by it, but he's just living larger than life, letting it all hang out without a care in the world. This guy's got this massive gut and just lets it all out, and that's kind of his thing. He is that gut guy. He just lets it all hang out.
こん時の俺の腹だらしなすぎっしょいやいつもと同じだよ
Now, I've criticized plenty of anime for having characters that have just that one joke, and the personality kind of revolves around that one joke, and it gets really stale after a while, and it's just not funny. But Sakamoto, even though they have characters like that, it works for this because there's always a new environment for these characters. Like, we see them, and we kind of know what they're going to do, but it's funny because they're in a new environment, and they can draw different types of humor out of different environments. Like, for example, Sakamoto can be working in a fast food restaurant. Of course, there's a school environment. There's the like summer break environment. There's one where he's like buying porn at a video rental store, or he's renting it anyways and he's trying to be really sneaky about it. There's so many different situations that I could just list them off all day here, because Sakamoto, it's got 12 episodes, and within each episode there are usually 2 to 3 different segments, and it's always changing it up. So just when you thought, okay, I've had enough jokes from this, it changes it up in another part, and it just brings more humor, and you're gonna crack a rib watching this. It is just that funny. Now, as far as the audio and visuals are concerned, I think they did a great job with this, and when watching the opening, it's something that when you're watching it for that last episode, you know you could rewatch this, and Sakamoto, by the way, is extremely rewatchable. I'm probably gonna rewatch this another time sometime coming up because it was just that funny, but it's just something about watching that opening sequence for the last episode. Even though you know you could rewatch it, it's just like this kind of sad feeling that you know that you're starting the final episode, which, by the way, there's supposed to be a 13th episode of this. I'm not sure what's up with that. There was an earthquake in Japan, which really set them back, so I really have to give them just a huge applause with this, because they did an amazing job, and they were set back by many things, and they just came out on top and created a great comedy. And this is something that I recommend so much to everybody. Like, I can't even describe how much I really like this. Like, Golden Boy is my favorite comedy anime, but I would put Sakamoto Desu directly under it. That's how funny I found the show. Definitely check it out if you haven't yet. This is a must watch. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed Sakamoto Desu, be sure to let me know about that in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.